Hi everyone, I'm Dan Hicks, and welcome to the 41st Ryder Cup, a competition that the United States is desperate to try and turn around. Having lost 6 of the last 7 and 8 out of the last 10, a Ryder Cup task force was put in place 2 years ago after the latest loss at Glen Eagles. In that decision, Captain Davis Love III would captain the team for the second time, just 4 years removed after his first captaincy, in which he watched Europe pull off the biggest final day comeback in Ryder Cup history. Darren Clarke, in the meantime, the captain for Europe, was hoping that his core of 6 veterans, along with 6 Ryder Cup rookies, would be good enough to win the Ryder Cup for Europe for an unprecedented 4th straight time.
We're excited about the 12 players, the 6 captains, the support team we have, and I don't think we've ever been as pumped up and as organized and as together as a family as this group.
A lot of people remember Davis Love for being the captain at Medina in 2012. Davis is going to bring not only captain experience and vice captain experience, but he's going to bring playing experience from the Ryder Cup. And I think this year he's going to get it to the finish line with a victory.
We're heavy on leadership and heavy on passion. And we just got to get out and play our game.
They know what to expect. You know, the home support is going to be loud, it's going to be vociferous, and rightly so. That's the way it should be. That's what makes the Ryder Cup so special. And you know, they're all so keen to get out there and play. They can't wait to get out and savor the whole atmosphere of the Ryder Cup. Come Friday, we will be out there battling like the 2 great teams that we are.
As Ryder Cup week dawned, sad news had consumed the world of golf. Its king, the king, Arnold Palmer, had passed away. But as the opening tee shots of the 41st Ryder Cup drew near, volume and emotion levels were turned up to maximum, with adrenaline, excitement, and anticipation charging through a boisterous crowd. Players pensive and taut, eager yet apprehensive. There's nothing quite like the opening moments of the Ryder Cup anywhere else in the world of sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Welcome to the first day morning matches of the 41st Ryder Cup. On the team representing Europe, Justin Rose. On the team representing the United States of America, Patrick Reed.
In the top match of the opening foursomes, 2 heavyweight partnerships both protecting unbeaten records in tandem from the last match at Glen Eagles. Traditionally, this foursomes format has played to European strengths. But first blood went to America on the second hole thanks to Speed's birdie. And with red now on the scoreboard, his fiery partner doubled America's advantage 1 hole later. Worrying times for 2 of the stars of the golfing summer, Open champion Stenson and Rio gold medalist Rose, and their concerns intensified as Speed coaxed it in close at the 7th. The U.S. 3-up. confident chemistry on display between rookie Sullivan and Europe's leading man McIlroy, facing a firmly established friendship in Mickelson and Fowler, who were teaming up in the Cup for the first time in 6 years. The Americans found themselves one up at the turn, but a Fowler miscue from the bunker allowed three-time European Tour winner Sullivan to retaliate at the 11th, his confidence surging now. Multiple major winning partner McIlroy put the duo in front at the 13th. That elicited the first of many roars from roars in this contest. In match 3, Ryder Cup heroes Garcia and Keimer faced a wily all-major combo of PGA champion Jimmy Walker and Zach Johnson. Garcia and captains pick Keimer have been in front since the second hole, and they held on to it here at the fourth. Never in doubt for Sergio. The next 7 holes were also halved before Johnson, the second most experienced American in the side, playing his 5th contest, made the match all square by the 12th. Match, the U.S. fielded the power precision combination of Dustin Johnson and Matt Kuchar, taking aim at captain's picks Westwood, 19 years of Ryder Cup experience, and first-timer Thomas Pieters of Belgium. This was a baptism of fire for him as Europe fell 3 down after only 5 holes. Johnson, the world #2 and the highest-ranked man on either side here, was on fire, and on the 13th eased out to a 5-up with only 5 to play lead. They couldn't lose, and a partnership with Kuchar that had won twice together in 2012 was again showing few signs of weakness. So the U.S. up in 3 of the foursomes matches, including the tone-setting leadoff contest in which Rose and Stenson required some late heroics to preserve their unbeaten record in this event together.
Let's go and catch up with Rose at the 16th birdie putt. Must make you think.
Well, that's a good effort from the Englishman. The Americans will have a putt to win the match.
What an important win this would be. Both these partnerships undefeated at Gleneagles. And it is a victory for Patrick Reed and Jordan Spieth. And what a win as well, taking down Stenson and Justin Rose, 3-2.
I wouldn't say it's simple. Anytime you're taking on Rose and Stenson, it's never simple. But, you know, we had a great game plan coming in, and, you know, we stuck with it. And, you know, just hit a lot of greens. In an alternate shot, you have to do that. You got to give yourself a lot of opportunities, and, you know, we were lucky enough to be able to hit a lot of greens and have good looks.
Desperate stakes for Europe. Pieters has to hold this. And he has.
Sterling stuff. It's been a pretty tough baptism for the Ryder Cup rookie from Belgium. However, Kuchar for the win.
Solid as a rock from the Cooch.
And Zach Johnson with a putt to win the 3rd point for the United States. How about that? Stunning stuff from Johnson and the US team. It is all looking very good for the Stars and Stripes.
Well, Mickelson, he'll just be trying to lag this up. If it drops in, so be it. He wins the game, but it's an excellent pace from Mickelson. So Europe have to hold.
So So desperate to wrestle the Ryder Cup back for the United States. Phil Mickelson, his 11th appearance in these matches. And just 2 victories. So McIlroy.
Well, desperate times for Europe. This just to get a half a point from the morning foursomes.
Another big cheer goes up. The chance of USA. And it is an historic session for the United States. A whitewash. 4-0.
To be with someone I've looked up to growing up as a kid and to finally get my first full point with someone like him, pretty special.
So just the start that Captain Davis Love III and the American team were hoping for. The scoreboard awash with red after a morning that they had completely dominated. The crowd now fully warmed up by the action. Everyone fascinated as to how or if Europe would rebound. With barely time to draw breath, the afternoon drama began to unfold. Chill and early morning mist now replaced by strong sunshine for the afternoon fourballs. So a sense of deja vu at the first with the same opening lineups as the morning. Behind them, Rafa Cabrera Bello, Danny Willett, Ryan Moore and Brooks Koepka would be given a first taste of Ryder Cup action. In the top match, America's top duo had sprinted out of the blocks again, but they gave back their early lead as Henrik Stenson simply took charge. That at the 7th to put himself and Rose one up. And intent on avenging their painful defeat that morning, Troon's Open champion targeted a 2 at the short 8, which was nearly a 1. The Iceman was on fire as he and Rose were charging towards what would be a significant success. To match 2, Kentucky's long-hitting J.B. Holmes and captain's pick Ryan Moore taking on the all-Spanish duo of Sergio Garcia and Rafa Cabrera Bello. The third fellow countryman Garcia partnered in this competition and certainly one of the most confident out of the blocks. This at the first hole. Immediately moved one up with a birdie, and Garcia, playing in his 8th Ryder Cup since 1999, was lending a helpful hand too. The Spanish Olympians were dovetailing beautifully. At the turn, they were 4 up against Moore and Holmes. Back at the first tee, the waiting was finally over for Masters champion Danny Willett, out alongside Martin Keimer against Brooks Koepka and Brad Snedeker. Snedeker has been waiting since Medina for a second chance. Renowned as an exceptional putter, but then again, every department of his game is world class. So efficient with flat stick in hand, Snedeker was pouring them in from everywhere and piling on the pressure. He and Koepka 4 holes up after just 8. Many were intrigued by Captain Clark's decision to place Peters under McIlroy's wing. And from very early on, it became clear that the skipper's instincts were very canny indeed. The Europeans took control right from the start in this one. Big-hitting, pin-seeking European pair were cruising and starting to look like a seasoned partnership. They weren't giving Dustin Johnson and Matt Kuchar any cushion at all as they raced to a 4-up lead. After a morning whitewash, this from Darren Clarke's side was a determined and emphatic response in the making. His team well ahead in 3 of the 4 matches. Europe's rearguard action underway. And in the leadoff match, Justin Rose had a putt for birdie at the 14th to complete a stunning 5-4 victory. Reed and Spieth's first ever defeat together. Rio's gold and silver medalists, Rose and Stenson, have formed a strong golfing partnership in these afternoon 4-balls. A first point then at Hazeltine for Europe, and they look strongly placed in 2 more matches. The European rebound was on. But in the other match at 14, Willett and Keimer were on the verge of defeat. Only this attempt from the fringe from Willett would keep the match alive. Instead, Europe's major winning combo suffered a significant defeat, 5-4 to Koepka and Snedeker.
My job today was to come out and make putts and just let Brooks do what he does. And Brooks played fantastic. It was an awesome win for us today. We needed it, and we're going to build on this thing going forward.
In the second match on the 16th, Ryan Moore faced yet another birdie putt, and this one had to drop 2. It didn't, and the match stopped there. A proud Spanish partnership had earned their first point together.
This afternoon playing with Rafa was awesome. You know, we're good friends. We're obviously very comfortable with each other, and you know, it was just a freaking rock of a partner. It was unbelievable.
Pressure's on Rory. A huge tee shot from McIlroy, just an iron. Trying to draw it in. He likes it.
And why not? Beautiful shot from McIlroy. He is bumped, isn't he? Some Brookline shirts. Never the greatest from the American team.
Never forget them though, will we? Cooch for eagle. This is fast down here towards the water.
And he hats if he holds it though. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, what a great effort.
Well, Rory doesn't want to get too excited with this one. They're 2 up. But this is for the match. He knows it's fast, like the suits fellas. For the match, for an eagle.
He's on the walk, he's done it. Take a bow, Rory McIlroy.
A fascinating opening day's play with America's 4-0 morning lead pegged back to just 2 points, with both sides able to take the positives going into Saturday.
should be going. I've really had a ball. But the beauty of your situation is you don't need anyone else here at all. You just keep on with your rambling and listen to it echo off the
As huge crowds poured in for the weekend, Hazeltine's pristine course awaited both teams. 4 more alternate shot foursomes matches, and this time the now vanquished Reed and Spieth would play last. Open champion Stenson guiding the contest's youngest competitor Fitzpatrick, and McIlroy and Peters leading from the front against Fowler and Mickelson. 24-year-old Peters had cemented his place as one of Clark's picks after his European Tour win in Denmark the month before the contest. And he was repaying his skipper with every shot and every gesture, much to the amusements of Mickelson and Fowler. And with McIlroy by his side, Europe took control of the opening match. Dormy 3-up, and a guaranteed half at least was secured for the power partnership of McIlroy and Peters. But a very different field in match 2. Koepka and Snedeker facing Stenson, rookie Fitzpatrick, who has had to watch and wait a long time for his chance. And together, the Swedish-English duo rapidly fell 2 down after just 4 holes. At the 5th, Snedeker's admirable short game brilliance helped retain their advantage. By the time they'd reached the 13th, the match was back to all square. That is, until another Snedeker special. The U.S. won up again, and at a crucial time. The combined craft and tenacity of Zach Johnson and Jimmy Walker had brought them a Friday win. Now they faced Englishmen Rose and Wood. Neither side could break the deadlock until the 7th. The Olympic champion with a steely, clenched fist response to his birdie to go 1-up. Playing the 13th, Europe had teased their lead out to 2. Walker and Johnson had yet to win a hole, and the statuesque Rose exerted even greater control over the match. Wood edging out to 3-up, 5 to play. At the bottom of the order, the successful Spanish pals act Sergio and Rafa faced Reed and Spieth, smarting from a first of feed and 5 together. A very smart start was to follow from the Texans, who won 2 of the first 3 holes. The young Americans didn't win the 5th, but the manner of their half was just as sweet. And when the golfing gods conspired against Cabrera Bello on the 11th, he and Garcia went 3 down, with holes running out. So Europe up in 2, the U.S. up in 2, and we were deep into the most enthralling and engrossing of Saturdays.
Well, this is a must-make now for Ricky. Down the hill, left to right.
Not to beat, hats are off, handshakes all round, and Europe win that one 4-2. It's 2 wins from 2 for Rory and Thomas.
So the first point of the morning session went to Europe, although the American team was on the verge of leveling things up in the second match. 2 down with only 3 to play with Henrik Stenson. This had been a difficult baptism for Sheffield's Matthew Fitzpatrick. After finding the water at the par 5 16th, he had this to keep the match, Snedeker and Koepka alive. The Americans prevailed 3-2, and significantly, the overall match lead had now been restored to 2 points. In the last match, Garcia and Cabrera Bello fought back to 2 down after 15. And when Garcia's impressive Ryder Cup nerve held yet again at the 16th, the jittery U.S. duo held the most slender of advantages. 1 up, 2 to play. The seemingly surefire U.S. point was now anything but. So 2 matches still very much alive, very much in the balance.
It's an interesting situation, this match. Spieth for a birdie. How did that stay out?
He cannot believe it. No way, no. It looked for all the world like it was in.
Incredible.
So a reprieve for the Spaniards.
Well, this could have been for saving the match. As it happens, he's got this to square it up. Down the hill, coming out the rough. Putter. Go on, go on. In you go.
They love it. A new Spanish partnership, Cabrera Bello and Garcia. Wonderful stuff. And off they head to the 18th with the match all square. How big a point could that be?
Well, Jimmy Walker up ahead on 18, chipping from the back of the green, coming out of the rough. And that's not good enough, Jimmy.
No, indeed. Advantage Europe, and they will have a couple of putts to take this match.
A match that went the full distance, sealed by Chris Wood, whose day-long wait for a slice of the Ryder Cup action was well worth it. Johnson and Walker concede. Europe wins 1 up.
3 up just shows you, you're feeling comfortable at 3 up, and we had a putt on 14 that we were inside them at 14 and thought maybe, we get 4 up with 4 to play, and then Jimmy rolls it in. Chris did a great putt that didn't go in 2, and then it's squeaky bum time, so to speak, coming down the stretch, and yeah, it's tense.
It's been a fantastic match, this one. Neither side deserves to lose. This is for par.
Yeah, well done, Patrick Reed. That's a gutsy one, that is. He seems to find it every time, doesn't he, Reed?
A formality, normally, but in these situations for Sergio, this to halve the match. Get in there, Sergio.
So the Europeans win that session 2.5 points to 1.5, and America ahead by a point overall.
Saturday afternoon and part 4 of Hazeltine's golfing drama for the final installment of Four Balls. Now think 2016 Ryder Cup partnerships, and it's arguably the long-hitting, emotionally charged McIlroy-Peters combo that springs immediately to mind. In the leadoff match again, the Irishman and the Belgian bidding for a third point in tandem were as intense and unstoppable as ever. Four up at the turn against the formidably talented Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson. The U.S. pairing did win the 11th and 12th to put up a fight. But with Peters answering with consecutive birdies to regain the 4-hole advantage with 4 to play, Europe's dynamic duo knew they couldn't lose. In match 2, all 4 players had endured a fruitless Friday, but alongside Lee Westwood, fellow Englishman Danny Willett set off with a real spring in his step and an air of conviction. That unlikely halve at the second certainly got European hearts pounding. Holmes was a member of the United States' last winning side in his home state at Valhalla. He's waited a very long time for another crack at this contest, and his tee shot at the 13th would yield the birdie that would square up the match. In match 3, Garcia reprised his partnership with Keimer against the always steady Kuchar, the ever-surprising Mickelson. It didn't start auspiciously for Europe. Sergio at least saw the funny side. And partner Keimer, too, remained philosophical, as they soon found themselves 2 down. At the par 3 13th, it was Kuchar's turn to muscle in on the highlight reel. Taking America 2 up with 4 to play. In the last match, a third confrontation between Reed and Spieth and Europe's Olympians Rose and Stenson. 1 apiece in their personal series so far, and the Americans, through emotional leader Reed, happened upon that Friday morning feeling again at the 6th in the most memorable fashion. A hole out and an electrifying Eagle 3 put the U.S. ahead for the first time in the match. And the combustible 26-year-old Reed, thriving on his high-profile platform once again, seized control of the contest. Another winning birdie at the 7th would follow. And the man who was a U.S. rookie at Glen Eagles just 2 years ago, underlining once again why his game was tailor-made for match play at the Eagle. U.S. 3 up now, Reed on a roll. The U.S. with a slight edge, but the huge Hazeltine galleries, like everyone else, could sense the conclusion of this session of matches would have a hugely significant bearing on the outcome overall match.
17th green, downhill. Swift putt here for Peters for birdie. To win the match, and he gets it. Koepka and Dustin Johnson, the big guns for the United States, are beaten by McIlroy and Peters.
Europe finally on level terms again. Many remember their comeback 4 years ago in Chicago, the stuff of nightmares for the U.S. But this time, the home team's most fired-up member was trying to make sure they wouldn't wilt this time. 5-time PGA Tour winner Patrick Reed's temperament burning up from within brought out the best yet again at the 15th. That would move them 3 up and within touching distance of yet another win. In need of their own brand of inspiration, Europe turned to Garcia at the 16th. The Spaniards' birdie extended the match with Keimer, although opponents Mickelson and Kuchar were striding, still 2 up, walking to the 17th. The pendulum was swinging significantly in favor of the hosts.
Desperate times for Europe in match 4. This is for Eagle. In he goes!
Well, it continues to surprise and amaze, doesn't it, the Ryder Cup?
Henrik Stenson, take a bow. It's going to leave Mickelson straight up the hill. This is to win the match.
Well done, Phil Mickelson. So another point to the US. A 2-1 victory for Mickelson and Kuchar.
Well, this to win the match for the Americans. Across the slope. And that's not going to get there. So that opens the door nicely for Willett and Westwood.
Westwood. Oh, no. Oh, that is desperate for Lee Westwood. And it is another point for the USA. They know, though. Patrick Reed with a couple of putts for the match. America's point and America's session.
You know, I felt great this morning. He felt great this morning. We were playing some really good golf. I knew we had to get that momentum back, and you know, what a way to do it than come out and tear up the golf course like we did this afternoon.
As day dawned on the Ryder Cup Sunday, years of planning, speculation, and debate was all coming down to this day, the 2nd of October, to 12 singles matches. The 2016 Ryder Cup had more than lived up to expectations in what has become an event that people worldwide stop to watch, and that has an impact not just on the golf course.
Well, as we all know, the charitable component of golf is critical to the game. And Ryder Cup outreach started in 1999, and this year at Hazeltine National Golf Club, we raised $2.85 million that will go to charities around the country.
Would the U.S. team regain the Ryder Cup after an 8-year wait, or would Europe reclaim it for an unprecedented 4th time? The final chapter of the story of 2016 was about to unfold. First tee at Hazeltine was more than ready.
Stuck in
Darren Clark had little choice but to front-load his singles order to help deliver the wholesale momentum shift that Europe had achieved 4 years earlier at Medina. And even then, 5 of the bottom 6 Europeans had yet to win a point here, but the draw featured some intriguing matchups. Not least the match that everyone wanted, including the players themselves. America's feisty and red-hot Reed against Europe's on-course leader McIlroy. Highly charged doesn't quite cover this one. All square after 5, trading blows as the crowds witnessed a breathtaking run of scoring from both. Reed in close at the 6th as he looked to forge ahead, forcing McIlroy to drain this birdie putt just for the half. Neither player giving an inch. Still all square as they hunted yet for more birdies at the 7th. So again, it was up to McIlroy, who was forced to match with his own 3 just for the half. Up to the challenge, McIlroy mocked his opponent's favorite gesture.
Well, can the fun continue here on 8, the short par 3? Flag back centre today. Not bad. Not up to the sparkling stuff we've been watching, but pretty good.
Yeah, it's like 2 heavyweight boxers, isn't it? Toe to toe for a world title. McIlroy. He's giving it a 12. He likes it.
That's a half a club short at least for Rory, and that will roll down near the front of the green to the cheers of the American crowd.
Still moving. Still moving. Further and further for McIlroy. Mickelson in close. Real chance for Phil.
Pretty slippery one though, this for Mickelson. Never in doubt, all square.
And how pumped are these American fans today? What an atmosphere. Back to the 8th, McIlroy. Birdie putt.
He'll be looking for 2 putts here. McIlroy, a long way away, at least 50, 60 feet even. He can't, can he? He can.
You have got to be kidding. And look at Rory. Have you ever seen him like this?
It's an incredible match, this match 1. They can hear you, Rory.
Everyone knows how big this one is.
Well, Reed's heart must be pumping. He can't. He can as well.
I don't believe it, Jamie. I do not believe it. Anything you can do. This is not golf as we know it. It really is extraordinary stuff from these 2, and that's nice to see.
McIlroy against Reed was not only living up to, but surpassing all expectations. Those thrilling first 8 holes in large part will remain some of the most defining moments for many in this Ryder Cup. Match play excellence, drama, raw emotion, sportsmanship, it had it all. Both men rising to the occasion in this event like we've seldom seen before. Deep into the decisive Sunday singles, there was one match everyone was watching. The magnetic lure of the top match continued to draw us in. Having expended so much emotional energy and having both been 5 under through 8 holes, that level was tough to maintain. Reed went 1 up after 12, then 2 up through 16. Suddenly, McIlroy was fighting hard to stay in it. Fittingly, we would get our grandstand finish at 18 in this singles classic. Needing only 5 points to regain the cup, the U.S. led in 6 matches and was all square in another 3.
Let's go up to 18. Second shot here for Reed. 1 up. And it's another beautiful shot from Patrick Reed. How does he do it? .16 just confirming Spieth's ball in the water.
That's Jose Maria Zamora from the European Tour giving the ruling.
Mike, there's no way I can hit it anyways. One shot penalty, you have to replace it. You're going to double check with Mark. Please double check. Mark Wilson, come in, please. I mean, it's done now. I think that you've caused the ball to move. As soon as you put your foot in there, you know, you've moved the water. Sure. And so basically, you have to replace the ball where it was. I can see the ball. You can see it. Okay. Yeah. You can see in the ball.
Well, he would have been playing 4, and Stenson's, what, within 25 feet in 2.
He said I caused the ball to move.
So that one is all over, and it is a first point on Sunday for the Europeans.
Well, match of the week for me, this top match. We all knew it would be. Now he's got this for another birdie to win the match.
You can see what it means to Patrick Reed and to those American fans. America's top gun takes down the European star. A first point of the afternoon for the USA. And what a big one it is.
Reed had produced the sort of inspirational leadership that Europe had long celebrated in their own heroes like Ballesteros and Poulter. This a superb win and a memorable match, after which the U.S. led by 3 points again as they closed in on the cup. In the mesmerizing Mickelson-Garcia contest, the torrent of birdies continued to fly in. At the 17th, Garcia's iron play under the most extreme pressure was exemplary. For all its brilliance, it was not yet decisive. From here at the 17th green, Mickelson still had a putt for a half. All square, the pair of them still inseparable, still inspirational. However, there was daylight between Peters and Holmes, who were at the 16th. Yet another magnificent blow from the Belgian. There in 2, he couldn't net the eagle, but still had a birdie chance he knew would secure him victory. And Captain Clark knew it too. Having been charged with the responsibility of a captain's pick, the young rookie had come through, delivering 4 points out of a possible 5, and Europe was still alive. From one rookie revelation to another, at the 13th Cabrera Bello, deadly accurate, even with fairway metal in hand. Sensational ball striking as the Spaniard increased his lead over Jimmy Walker to 2 up. And when the next 2 holes were halved, the end was in sight. Rafa beats the reigning PGA champion 3-2 with heart and self-belief, and has given his team a further glimmer of hope, having drawn within a point of the United States. All square with 3 to play, Ricky Fowler delivered a timely blow at 16. 1 up for the captain's pick, and it stayed that way at the 18th, where Ian Poulter's good pal Justin Rose had the chance to salvage a half. Instead, the Battle of the Olympians was won this time by Fowler 1 up, his first ever win in singles. Danny Willett's first Ryder Cup experience had been sadly pretty miserable. Singles did little to change things, as Koepka targeted the widest margin of victory in the singles so far. His mastery over the owner of golf's green jacket was complete. 5 and 4 the scoreline. With 6 matches remaining, and with Europe ahead of just 1, prospects looked increasingly bleak for the holders of the cup.
This is from Phil Mickelson's 10th birdie of the day, and arguably the most important. Downhill. He can't miss. He can't miss. Incredible stuff.
It really is. As I said, it might not have had the thrills and spills of Reed against McIlroy, but arguably better in many ways. Garcia for the half. Well done, Sergio. Well, no one really deserved to lose that match. 19 birdies between them. A better ball 58. Surely one of the best, if not the best, Ryder Cup singles match ever.
It was very impressive. Obviously, we both played extremely well. Even though I putted well, don't get me wrong, he definitely rolled the ball better than me. I mean, I don't know how many feet of putts he made today, but definitely not under 300.
More second from the middle of the fairway.
Full of confidence, the American. Walking after it.
It's stunning. Excellent stuff from Ryan Moore. And this could be the Ryder Cup right here.
Well, even if he holds this, Snedeker will have 2 putts for the match.
Well, miserable way to finish for Andy Sullivan, but it's another point to the US as they creep ever closer to their target of 14.5 points. Just a half a point needed now.
Celebrations could now begin. Ryan Moore's win over Lee Westwood, cementing a truly emphatic victory for the American team. It's just the second time the U.S. has won the Ryder Cup since their victory at Brookline in 1999. Disappointment for Darren Clarke and the Europeans, and redemption for America's captain Davis Love. He was on the wrong end of the European miracle comeback at Medina, but now he's a winning Ryder Cup captain.
That's what makes this team tough. You know, we're going to fight all the way to the end, and we did. The guys competed all day and hung in there when it looked a little bleak starting off, and came out with a win. So I'm proud of those 12 guys.
So the cup officially regained after an 8-year wait. Europe's vice-like grip on the trophy unlocked. It was the United States' turn to drink in their team's success. America's Ryder Cup task force had unearthed the winning formula this time. In Paris in 2018, it'll be 25 years since the U.S. last won the Cup in Europe. Different challenges await both teams, but for now, sweet and much-deserved taste of champagne and success belongs to the United States of America.
To Captain Davis Love III and your entire team, it is my great pleasure to present to you the Ryder Cup.
One last time, the winners of the 2016 Ryder Cup, the team from the United States of America. Hey guys, would you like some champagne?